Okay, here's why I think it's a little weird that the coronation date is set for May 6, 2023. So eclipses in early history were associated with rulers. According to Babylonian scholars, eclipses could foretell the death of a king, and lunar eclipses in particular were times of great concern for the current king in power, to the point where they would hold elaborate sacrificial rituals in order to protect the king. So during these rituals, the king would symbolically abdicate the throne, and someone would be chosen to impersonate him during the eclipse and then later killed in order to save the true king. So historically, this is a ritual date, and it wouldn't surprise me at all if something significant happened during the coronation or within the royal family during that time.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. That is pretty sus.
The strange truth that you have never known, part 150. Besides the pyramids, this is one of the most mysterious things left behind by the ancient Egyptians, which are 24 stone coffins, each weighing about 100 tons, transported by the ancient Egyptians down an artificial underground cave system. And the coffin located on this upper pathway will reveal to us some truly unbelievable things. As we can see, the passageway within the cave is extremely narrow, making it very difficult to transport or craft anything down here. This coffin, on the other hand, remains an unworked block of stone that was abandoned in the middle of its creation. Its lid, which was left behind at the cave entrance, suggests that these 24 coffins were transported from the outside as raw blocks of stone. They were brought through the narrow passageways to reach the main chamber, where they would be fully crafted and placed in their intended positions. However, what truly amazed archaeologists was that once completed, these coffins were incredibly precise, with all of them being perfectly cut and squared at 90-degree angles. Furthermore, the inner surfaces were so polished that they reflected like a mirror, making it hard to believe that these were made from raw blocks of stone. To create the hollow interior, the ancient craftsmen had to cut all 4 sides from top to bottom, including the inner bottom surface. Despite this, somehow they managed to craft them with such precision that they appear to be the product of a laser cutting machine.
I mean, everything about the pyramid is so precise that it's actually impossible for humans to actually build them, especially in that time and age.
There's a huge hole in the ground in China where they discovered this entire, totally separate ecology, and the geology is totally separate from what's above land. And there's light, there's trees and forests and lakes and rivers and all this stuff down there. And yes, it's real. As a matter of fact, there's a few places like that on Earth. There's another one down in South America. Now, these things exist. The one I was trying to go to was a 4-hour hike to get there. And 4-hour hike, and then you have to, it's very, very rugged terrain. And then you have to rappel about 200 meters into this opening in the earth, and then you land in an area where there's an actual beach. Underground, there's a beach, okay? And then it's got its own system down there. Forests, jungles, there's light that gets down there, animals that live down there and everything else. So there are these giant openings in the earth that open up. No, not a hollow earth, but you gotta realize the mass of the earth itself allows for massive openings in areas that could hold maybe even millions of people, because we only live on the outside surface, the skin. There's so much mass on this planet, in terms of the depth that it has. In there are huge openings that go on for hundreds of miles, sometimes maybe even for thousands of miles. These honeycomb-shaped openings that life exists down there.
I mean, yes, there are places on Earth, and those are so beautiful. I've seen them online. If I ever get the chance, I'll definitely visit them.
So the Illuminati has made its way to TikTok in literally the craziest way imaginable. This story is so eerie, and you just have to hear it for yourself.
About 10 minutes ago, my boyfriend and I are leaving my apartment complex in his truck. And at the same time that we're leaving, we see a lady driving in, and we look over and she's taking pictures of us. So my boyfriend's the type of guy where he's not just gonna be like, that was weird. So he instantly goes in reverse and she takes off. So she's driving down the complex, and then we're following her and she parks. So I go right up to her window and I knock on it and I go, roll your window down. And she's going, no. So she rolls it down and I go, were you taking pictures of us? And immediately she's like, no, this is what's going on. And she grabs her phone and she's like shaking, like trembling. You can't even look at her phone. She's shaking so much. So she goes, I'm being stalked and followed, and she pulls out her phone and she starts showing me her camera roll, and her whole camera roll is like zoomed in pictures of like random cars. And she goes, the elite sent people after me. She's like, sent people after me. She goes, I was on trial for O.J. Simpson, and she starts showing me pictures in a courtroom, zoomed in pictures of O.J. Simpson. Her passenger seat has piles of like documents, like redacted like statements and stuff like that, like court documents. She's like, the Illuminati is real. She's like, you're young, you probably know the Illuminati's real. She's like, no one's believing me. Everybody that I tell thinks I'm crazy, and she's like, no one believes me, and she's like, and I need help.
The comments of this were a mix of different ideas. Some people said, girl, now they know that you're on to them, you've become a prime target. While others said, it sounds like she was just telling you that you are being stalked by the Illuminati. And even more say that the most rational explanation is that this woman is delusional and none of this is true. But I thought this was a creepy video nonetheless. What do you guys think?
Make sure to hit the like button so the algorithm pushes the video to other people. If you're not subscribed already, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and again, thank you. Let's keep watching.
The Appalachian Mountains. If you even stay in those mountains, you would either hear knocks or whistles. And the whole thing is like, if you even knock or whistle back, like you'll allow that spirit to with you. So there's one guy, and he already has 20 million views on his video. I'll show you it after. But he went to the Appalachian Mountains for work. And he's just videoing with his friends, and he sees something crazy. I'll just show you the video and let's see if you see it.
Yeah.
But it's trending right now. Hold on. 6 days ago, watch.
Femme, j'espère que vous allez bien, moi ça par la grâce de Dieu. Je suis comme ça en train d'aller à l'école. Mais je pense que le professeur ne va pas venir aujourd'hui. Donc je retourne à la maison.
You saw that face?
Yeah.
I mean, it could be true, but this whole thing is too far stretched. Let me know what you guys think.
Did y'all know from 1900 to 1940 we used to travel around in blimps? 114,000 trips were made in blimps, actually. What? Like 32 million people and over 3 million miles were traveled via blimp. This is one docking at the Empire State Building. It docked there for 3 minutes, one time. And the winds were too strong for them to use. But literally people used to get off the blimps right here on the front, and they would walk onto the top of the building because it took too many people to hold the blimp down to the ground to have them get on and off. So it was easier to pull up to buildings. That's why we have really tall buildings with these things on the top of them. Was because from 1900 to 1940, blimps were flying into the top of them and docking. What? And these like were elite travel. I'm telling you, like the Nazis and everybody in the world used these more than they used planes. They didn't even like planes. They preferred blimps. They traveled at 200 miles per hour versus a ship that's doing like 35 across the ocean. They hop on these things. They live on them. They have like full rooms and cafeterias and like everything inside of this. These were elite travel, y'all. But then the Zeppelin blew up, and all of a sudden blimps are no longer a thing, right? Even though airplanes, trains, and cars crashed all the time. So why didn't they stick with their like creme de la creme and keep making it? Especially when the military took over, they were using it as a flying aircraft carrier. They would drop planes out of that thing and then fly them back up in it. Sounds like some Captain America shit. But makes you think, did they really get rid of blimps? Or did they just hide them from us? Looks a lot like this thing, which is exactly what people nowadays see and report as UFOs. And this goes back, y'all, this goes back to like before the 1900s. What? Here's what I was talking about with the airships pulling in the airplanes and dropping them. Makes you wonder if they've been seeing these for over 100 years. what the government has really done with those blimps. If they were the elite travel, why would they give them up, y'all? More like make them better, nuclear powered, and disappear up there. Think about it.
You know Kanye West has like the Donda kind of preview?
Yeah, when he's doing like the release and all that shit.
There's people saying that during the Donda event,
yeah,
they saw on one of the tables in the middle was like a candle and I think like a silver glass, something like that, like a cup. And people are saying that is meant to be used for a seance. You know what that is?
Wait, what is that?
It's the contact spirit.
The contact spirit.
Contact spirit. So Kanye, the whole project is called Donda.
Yeah.
His mother died, so that whole event was a seance for his dead mother. Yeah. So that whole thing, the whole project is just for him to try and contact his mother.
Yeah, like talk to his contact his mother and all that.
Yeah.
Thomason found out through an infrared camera accidentally that our iPhones are taking invisible pictures of us every 5 seconds. Check this out.
Wild and crazy Friday night findings. We just discovered, which we already knew, that your phone, an iPhone specifically, takes an infrared picture of you with your Face ID every 5-ish seconds. And we looked at it through an infrared camera, and it's pretty wild. Let's show you. Okay, have your home screen.
It's on the home screen.
Not touching anything.
No buttons.
Okay, infrared lens on the camera. Boom, there was one. 2. That's so wild. Okay, cover the camera.
Okay.
Oh, there was another one. Okay. Nothing. Oh, it's trying. It's taking pictures of your finger. Okay, move your finger. Ready? Boom.
This is something that we can't see with the naked eye. However, with an infrared camera, we can. So a lot of people started testing it out.
It's picking me up right now.
It became a viral sensation, and there are thousands and countless videos of people trying this thing out with their infrared cameras. And well, news stations started trying to explain this. Apple released an official note, and apparently what they're saying is that this is an aspect of the iPhone. It has to do with Face ID and an emoji. However, internet users were baffled and confused, and so am I. Because if this does have to do with Face ID, why does it take these invisible pictures every 5 seconds and not all the time? How does this thing work? It doesn't make sense, does it?
I need to know, okay, what people's thoughts are on this, because I think this is very bizarre. Please tell me it's not only me, right? So, the past couple of days, I have, for the first time on my platform, been talking about the work that I do with releasing attachments from people. So the dark side, I've been talking about the dark side. So, I've already noticed that those videos have been slightly shadow banned compared to my other videos, okay? And then I go into my email, right? And the first thing that I see in my inbox is 444, okay? So for those of you who don't know, that's the angel number for protection. And then I go into my emails and it gets bizarre. Now, I'm not saying this is real, but this is very, very weird. Greetings from the Illuminati, World Elite Empire. Are you a businesswoman, politician? Politician, hell no. Do you want to be rich? Do you need protection? Do you need to gain more knowledge, be powerful and famous? If yes, then you can achieve your dreams by being a member of the Great Illuminati Empire. Say what? So come on, this is weird, right? This isn't just me, this is weird. So, Illuminati, if you're watching, I respectfully decline. I'm divinely protected. But yeah, this is weird. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
So it happened to me as well. I would say a decade ago. So I was approached by a couple of people or the members of this society, and they wanted to hire me or recruit me. I mean, there are a couple of scammers out there, right? And their major task is to recruit the youngsters. So I was approached by one of them.